Hi, welcome to this episode of Inside Admission at Wilmington College. My name is Danny Harp. I serve as the Associate Director of Admission. Today, we're going to be looking at the world of athletics here at the college. And joining me as my guest is Micah Mills. Micah has been here at the college for 6 years. He serves as the Associate Head Men's Basketball Coach, also serves as the Director of our Intramural Sports Program for our students, and also plays an important part with the Office of Admission in regard to helping us with some of our multicultural recruitment. Again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Micah.
Pleasure to be here.
Appreciate your help today. Micah, if you could tell us a little bit about the OAC, talk a little bit about Division III and what that looks like, what that feels like for the typical Wilmington College student that is involved with our athletics at that level.
Yeah, so the OAC obviously stands for the Ohio Athletic Conference. And first and foremost, all of the schools in our conference reside in Ohio. And so number one, off the bat, when it comes to competition, that allows us to, from a travel standpoint, none of our trips are going to be overnight, no long weekend visits of going several hours and having to stay and getting back late for that class the next day. So that kind of makes it nice, number one, of staying in Ohio for all your competition. And if you're from Ohio, it allows your family, right, to get out and travel and watch you play in whatever sport that is. The second thing I'll say about our conference is every institution puts a high emphasis on making that student-athlete experience special. Right? The first and foremost, they're always going to respect the fact that you're a student, and they do a fantastic job of celebrating and uplifting our student athletes when they're doing well in the classroom, and not only when they're doing well in the field. And then the second piece of that athletic experience is every institution takes it personal and makes it important that athletics is successful on their campus. So what that means for us at Wilmington College and all those other schools is you're going to play against some of the best competition from a small college standpoint in the country. In any conference, in any sport that you play in, if you're able to win your conference championship or compete for a conference championship, you have opportunity to compete for a national championship and win a national championship. And I think that makes it exciting, right, for our athletes to know of the level of competition that they're going against and the level that they're going to get of every place that they go, whether it's a home game or a away game, they're going to feel special because of that environment that our institutions take pride in creating.
Okay, very good. My understanding is that the OAC is a very competitive conference. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
very good. So Micah, with us being a small private college, I think our audience may be interested in knowing what types of facilities, what types of resources do we have for our athletes so that they can be prepared to put their very best self out there on the field or the court.
Yeah, the first thing I'll say is we have a world-class athletic training facility. Our athletic training department obviously is one of our top degrees on campus, and they do a fantastic job of working with our student athletes in two areas. Number one, preventative care, right, and making sure that they're doing the measures, they're doing the things so that they can prevent all injuries that might occur. And then number two is when something does happen, unfortunately, as we know things do tend to happen, is they do a great job of recovery, right, and making sure our athletes get back into the field, get back onto their court as soon as possible in a healthy manner. And then the second thing is, which a lot of other small colleges don't have, we have our own strength and conditioning coaches here on campus through an organization called Ignition. And their coaches come up to our campus every day throughout the week, and they work with our student athletes with building out our own strength and conditioning programs tailored towards individual athletes and their individual sport. Right, so our basketball team does not lift the same as our football team. Our football team doesn't lift the same as our softball team, which is extremely important when you're talking about maximizing yourself and maximizing yourself for that sport. And then on top of that is our strength and conditioning coaches are always in the weight room with us, right? So our athletes get, certified eyes on them of what they're lifting and how they're lifting instead of just going in there on their own or going in there with coaches that don't really know the ins and outs of lifting. So I think those two things alone, our athletic training facility and then our athletic trainers and then our strength and conditioning coaches and then our strength room, right? Our lifting area sets us apart for sure.
Okay, very good, excellent. And then two, with us being a small private college, Division III, again, we mentioned the OAC earlier. What do you think is unique about that experience? What do you think maybe sets us as an institution apart in regard to the care, the service, the attention that our student athletes get?
One of the things I love about the student athlete experience here on the campus is the support that they get. And number one, the support that they get from each other. You know, when you're going through these facilities in the afternoon and all the teams are working out and all the teams are training, it makes number one, you want to train, and you also seeing your other peers get after. It makes you want to support them as well as them support you. And so when you go to your events, all of our events, from softball to baseball to football to the basketball games, volleyball games, are full of other students on campus, and oftentimes a lot of other student athletes supporting our other sports teams and giving us that home court advantage.
Okay.
And then just the community in general, from the faculty, from the staff, they love to come out and support our student athletes when they're competing. And it makes for a great representation of your college, and it makes you proud to want to represent your college. And I think that's really special here at Wilmington College.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Well, thank you for joining us for part one of athletics at Wilmington College on this episode of Inside Admission at Wilmington College. Join us next week for part two.